Hello, brave awakened ones. Evie here. What's up? It is the 7th of June. It's early afternoon. I meant to get this video out earlier to you Tuesday, but it's been a whirlwind for me the past few days, and today is a lot going on. Start off, I said June was going to be crazy, a lot of bills are going to come due. We're going to start coming due. And especially if you are a light worker, especially if you're a light worker master like I am, leading a crew, things are going to start coming due. And, the divine prepared me well for it. And I prepared my loved ones who would listen to me well for what was coming. Excuse me. And it sure hit, I said right after June 3rd, it was going to start, and it did. This weekend, I had a cousin, a young one, he's in his 20s, commit suicide. He offed himself with his father's service rifle. His dad's a cop. Unfortunately, I had not seen him in a few Christmases. It's been 3 years since I've seen him, actually. Yeah, it's been exactly 3 years. 18, 19, 20, 20. Yeah, last time I saw him, I think, was 2018, 2019 for Christmas. And he was, him and his mom, unfortunately, surprisingly, they were abusing substances, which, is shocking because, these were middle class working people. He was a college kid, working hard. Things like that happen when you don't know how to let go. You don't know how to let go of pain, and you allow it to consume you, and then you turn around and you take it out on yourself. And in their case, him and his mom's case, my cousin's case, they went and took it out on one of their aggressors. I'm talking, they tried to off him. My uncle, who I forgave for the stuff he did to me a while ago. I mean, he landed me in the hospital, fractured ribs, 3 fractured ribs and all. He wanted to kill me. He said he was going to kill me and my daughter, but like the good book says, you may not agree with everything the Bible says. I sure as heck don't. I know it's an altered text, but you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. And vengeance is mine, says the Lord, quote unquote. Vengeance is God's, not yours. If something happens while you're defending yourself or defending somebody else, that's one thing. But when you premeditate to get back at somebody that harmed you earlier on, no. All you're doing is damning your own soul. Let God deal with it. And unfortunately, they did not. No matter how hard I tried to talk to them, they did not. And I said, devil's going to collect his due. And I knew this was going to be the year. And sure enough, start with him. And honestly, she just found out yesterday. His mother, my cousin, just found out about her son's death, her only son. And I don't think she's going to make it. She lashed out at everyone. She even tried choking out one of my other cousins, saying it was her fault. She had nothing to do with it. But she totally lost it, And then I found out my daughter's blaming everyone also, because she was very close to him, because they're, just a few years apart. They're raised together. So it's a mess. It's a mess. And I'll be going this weekend to the funeral. And, there's more to come, because we're in that time of the tribulation. We're in that time of the tribulation. And right on schedule as I was warned, it started happening with my family. Day after, right? So here we are, people, dealing with it. And it's a lot to get in. And I was asking God, Source, what else can I do to help my daughter? You know, what else can I do to help those? What can I do? Where did I go wrong as a parent? What else could I have done? And I was given a very clear answer. It started, let's take it back to the beginning, what happened last night. You know, everything's a whirlwind. We're trying to make plans to go to New York because that's where they're shipping the body to. You know, my other cousin came down to claim the body, and they're shipping the body to New York and everything like that. So we're all going to New York. I had to make plans. Spent like $1,200 on airline tickets yesterday for myself, my sister, and my mom. So a lot going on. But I have to stop and do this. Not just for me, for you as Team V, but us coming together. It's going to affect the world. Sorry, it's difficult to, okay? So be patient with me. I'm going through a lot, to say the least, right now. It's just the beginning, but I must set an example, being the leader of this team, right? So when I finally fell asleep after going through so much all night, all day, all night, I was taken down into this vortex. I was like, are you kidding me? I just fell asleep. Now I'm falling into a vortex. Literally felt myself falling in. And then when I landed, I'm standing there, and there are those very tall male figures, all dressed in black, with the black helmets and the black visors. You don't see their face. You don't see anything. And they had these very strange guns. I remember like this red light, long light at the end of the gun, these long weird guns, right? And they were just standing there guard, yelling at people, marching people in and out. Like I got to see like far out, like mechanics, nurses, doctors, like people going to work and then putting people on buses to go home. And there was this one guy who tried to break free, and they shot at him. And what I saw, it wasn't a regular gun. It sucked the life out of him. Literally sucked the life out of him. And I was just like, what in God's name did I just witness? And then it's Source Creator that comes to me in this angelic form. And I know it's God, because I have audience with God now. I have been welcomed to the foot of the throne and into God's inner sanctums. To commune with God. So it's Source talking to me directly. So Source marches me, not male or female, you know, God marches me all over the place and shows me these things now. So Source said to me, this is you know, the spiraling down. You know, I'm trying to put it into words. It's literally angelic language that I can't even replicate. I can't, okay? So I was told that this is like, you know, 3D Earth, where part 2, 3D Earth part 2, part 2, okay? That's where I was, that timeline. And the language these soldiers were speaking, they were tall, taller than the average man, human. Earthian, I should say. Was not any earthly language. I got the chills just saying it was not. It was. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, whoa. I was like, that's not an earthly language. And they were just talking to each other after they sucked the life with that gun out of that guy. And then other people like scared and crying, and they were shoving and pushing people. I was like, dang, so that's what it's gonna look like. And I was shown that treaty that they're trying to push through, that any nation that signs that treaty, that is their fate. They're going to deal with that tribulation. And yeah, they're not of this world. Those soldiers, they're not of this world. Obviously, they're not of this world. So I was like, dang, so that's what's going to happen. And then as soon as I was shown that, I said, but what can I do? What can I do to save my loved ones from doing this, going through this, especially my daughter, who's not awakened yet still at this point in time? And then I was taken into this vortex of light, and it was just pure light. I was just suspended in it. And then I was shown Miss Embracing Light. You'll see her. She's like my right-hand man when it comes to this stuff. She's my Mr. Spock. I was shown, because of what she decided to do when she came into this lifetime, was focused on the micro. She has 5 kids. So she decided to focus on the micro. So she gave me permission to talk about this. So unlike me, who is able to connect with the macro, I'm able to get my feelers out into the universe and get information. She cannot, which is why we ended up becoming friends. So it's like literally, her hand's on my shoulder. She's blind. She could see some stuff. She could hear some things, but she can't see. And I'm the one leading the way because of my reach. And Master, she decided to focus on the micro. So therefore, she was able to make this base foundation for her kids, which is why all her kids are already awakened and ascending. Whereas my son is, because he's an angelic soul who came down, whatever, and he didn't get lost or anything like that. So he's fully awakened and ascending completely. You know, he regularly watches my channel, and joins in. But my daughter, she was a darker soul who hitched her wagon to me, who I agreed to when I was very young. I was introduced to her by Archangel Raphael, and Gabrielle, I said, okay, sure. I'll help her come through to have a shot at ascension. You know, she's a regular earth soul, okay, who's been stuck in reincarnation for like 4,000 years, for a very long time, a couple of thousand years. So, because my look, because I'm more focused on the macro, the micro suffered. And the base that I failed at forming for my kids, but my son didn't necessarily need it. It would have helped him sooner in life, but he's still in his early 20s because he's an angelic soul. But my daughter's the one who really needed this, is the base of spirituality and the connection with God. Many of you want to know, how do I help my younger child and everything? This is it. Not just your child, but we're going to come together. I'm going to ask everybody to come together today, this evening, at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's 8:30, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let me see, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I want to give people on the West Coast a chance to come out so everybody can join in. So I'm going to make it 8:30 Eastern Standard Time today, okay? And all around the world, for us to come together. And even if you don't do the live, you could listen in and put your energy into it, you know, drop the chi in there, and do it later. It's up to you. But it'd be great if you could do it live today, okay? So I was guided to do this today because I needed to do this prior to the funeral on Saturday. So here it is, the base that we need to form for our loved ones and for the world, for those to help them wake up, is this spirituality base. That's what we didn't do. For a lot of us, we failed at that. I was so sharp, you failed at that. I said, so what can I do to remedy this, God? And I was shown, he reached over here, that I'm building up my chi, which is what we're right in season, summer season up here in the north, very important. We're building up our heart, our upper heart chakra. We're opening up even more, which is why a lot of us get so depleted and tired when the energies come in, because the dark ones, they're sucking the life out of the air, literally, out of our food. They're sucking the chi, the prana, same thing, out of the air, out of the water, out of the food, out of us. And we're doing everything we can to ground that in, to ground it in, and to also evolve and help others and help Earth, of course. So this huge flash of light just went right by me. I wonder if it's going to show up on the video. So what we're going to do, I was guided for us to start doing Qigong, right? And I actually started working with Qigong Master on Saturday. On my way there, riding my bike to the beach, that's when I received a phone call early in the morning that my cousin offed himself. So it was timed very well for me to meet him, because he had to do some healing on me, because I was hyperventilating, to say the least. So what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to come together, and we're going to do a qigong practice. It lasts about 15 minutes. That's going to bring in that chi energy, and then we're going to ground it, I was told, into the inner core heart of Earth, and then disperse it throughout Earth to our loved ones first, and then out beyond them. Okay? And I was told, like, to have a flower of life and a picture of Earth. Like, I have a transparent one. You don't have to do this. You can have a map of Earth, whatever, to be over it, stand over it, and have my crystal grid around me. You don't even have to do all that, guys, okay? Do whatever you're called to do. I'm just leading it, so therefore there's certain things I have to do. So I'm going to be doing that, and you guys will be following me, and we're going to be gathering the chi, and the chi's going to come through us and revitalize us, open up our heart chakras even more. And then God said to me, you will become invincible. Nothing, the dark will not be able to stop us from manifesting, creating what we're meant to create. The stronger we get in the chi. Okay? So also I was told that and shown that, okay, that base of spirituality, the spirituality is the connection with God. That's what was missing. Now, growing up, I grew up Catholic, very Catholic. I call it Orthodox Catholic. Went to Catholic school from the first grade through college, okay? And what the Dark Ones did is, instead of connecting to God, they made people, the way they formulated religion and structured religion, you're connected to the church. The church becomes your God. And when I say the church, I'm not just talking about Catholics and Christianity. I'm talking about every religion, whether it's be a mosque, whether it be a synagogue, whatever. I'm referring to all of that, the church, that structure, that organization. It's becoming attached to that. And that is what, like my uncle and my mom, for instance, used all the dogma of the church against myself, my siblings, my cousins. It allows you to do some crazy stuff. That's why my uncle broke my ribs. He beat me up till he broke my ribs, because my daughter, unknowingly, being an innocent little 2-year-old, thought, oh, mommy looks so pretty in the swimwear calendar. So she took it and put it in her diaper bag to show it to grandma. So grandma got angry, stole my key, my apartment key, from my older sister, and let my uncle into my apartment 6 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up with him on top of me, choking me, and then proceeding to break the bones in my body and throwing my daughter through a TV. So, yeah. So, and all that because I was a sinner. So religion, the church, is used to control, to break you down, and to break your connection with God. I was just talking to my cousin about an hour ago, and in New York, and she's like, I don't know if I can handle going to this funeral. It might be too much for me. I don't know if I could take it. I don't know. And then she's like, she asked me, how did you not break apart considering what he did to you? Because he beat the crap out of his daughter all the time. She was the target. There's always a target in the family. It was me, her, and my other cousin who was talking to me. She's like, how? How did you were able to have kids and relationships and, how? And I said, because very early on, I realized that the church was a lie. That everything that they did through church was a lie. And when I say early, I'm talking 5 years old. And then I realized I needed to have my own relationship with God, with Source. And that I proceeded to do that through all the abuse. I always kept my eyes fixed on Yeshua, and Jesus actually, and Mother Mary. And I wouldn't allow it to break me. And she's like, wow, but I go to church. I'm like, it's not church. But my mistake was that I threw out the baby with the bathwater. What religion, organized religion, can do for us, can do for many, is you use that as a basis, as a foundation to introduce the child into a relationship with God. No matter what religion you're in, there's always one source creator. That is what you use to introduce that child into a relationship with God. You don't make church the focus. You make the relationship with God the focus. But what I did, my error, which I apologize to my children for, my error is that I made it personal. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give them the space for them to find their own way to God. That was a mistake. I should have used what I had and shared my spirituality with them. So that is where I effed up. I did not share my spirituality with them, which is why the devil lays in waiting, which is why my daughter is so easily influenced, and all her friends are from the Church of Satan, literally, that are surrounding her and influencing her. She says, oh, I don't believe that, because she hates the church so much. She can't stand church. She goes, oh, they're no better than the Christians. But it's still influencing her behavior, and the stuff that comes out of her. It's really influencing her hardcore. They got a grip on her. I was shown that. That's how I was guided to know that they were even part of it. I didn't even know. So that is the thing when it comes to you helping the younger ones in your family and other people. It's using, you could use whatever, Christianity, whatever, Muslim, Hinduism, whatever you want to use as an introduction, or you don't have to use it, whatever, but introduce your children into your spirituality and your relationship with God. Find something to connect the two so they could understand it. Hope that makes some sort of sense. So tonight, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, please show up. Just be in comfortable clothes, comfortable environment, try to be in a quiet space so we could do this Qigong together to bring in that energy, gather some Qigong so we can open up the heart chakras. And I was shown, it was like magnificent. It was like a burst of light. And I was told that's going to free so many. And going back, I skipped it. That gun that those non-earth beings, soldiers, were using to suck the life, the chi out of people to kill them, I was shown even if people got the sugar water, as this nurse that I work with calls the ones who didn't get the vaccine that's killing them, the stick in the arm that's killing them, they still got something that's going to connect them to that 3D bio matrix that's going to allow them to be controlled. And they start out with a little bit, and the more sticks in the arm you get, the more connected you are to that bio matrix, the 3D bio matrix. And that gun actually, it like targets you, like it knows your genome. It was so weird the way it showed me it worked. That's why I was able to suck the chi out of you, the life out of you. And I was shown they use it now in China. I was shown they actually use it now. I was like, whoa. They've been testing it out on folks, so I was shown. So that was very, very interesting. So the more sticks in your arm you get, those won't kill. It's connecting you to the biomatrix. So they could have control of you. Unfortunately, my daughter got 2 of those sticks in the arms. Especially the mRNA ones. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So join me tonight. And even if you don't, I hope you take what I just said to heart and use it, and bringing in that chi in yourself and dispersing it throughout your family. I can't even tell you how much a difference it makes. I know Miss Embracing Light was saying, because she was so depleted, and I was so depleted, taking naps, coming home from work, and just feeling like I'm about to die, like there's no energy left, especially in the past couple of weeks. It's been beyond intense. And that's when I was told you need to replenish your chi, because they're sucking the chi, the prana, out of the air, out of the food, out of everything. And it's going to get even worse when the Roe v. Wade is completely stopped, which is going to be pretty soon. It is this year. That's the daily sacrifice that I read about in Daniel. Remember? I made those videos back in 2019 about Roe v. Wade being stopped. The daily sacrifice is going to be stopped. So, you know, that's the beginning. The tribulation has already begun since they said it. It's going to rev up a hell of a lot more, no pun intended, from that point on. All right, so that's it, guys. All right, much love. QV out. And yeah, I know it seems doom and gloom, but we're here for this, right? And we're here to help others. And when we do the chi and we bring that energy in, it's going to burst open the heart, crack the hearts open of so many, and break that biometric connection that some of them have. And it's going to disconnect them from that, and it'll trigger their awakening and ascension. And it's also gonna, there's also this vice grip I saw around the center core of Earth, that when we do that and channel it through Earth also, it's gonna break her away, and it's really gonna accelerate the separation. So yeah, it's disclaimer, things might look worse, but also on the other hand, we're freeing millions and millions of souls, okay? All right, not only that, it's going to help us to connect more to the higher Earth, to higher 4D, 5D Earth, so we could really start manifesting quickly. All right, peace out, much love, bye. Mwah. Sugar.